all we have to go through, like the quizzes, the material, and the likes. So that was, can two people share their experience? How has last week been for them?
It was
Do you want me to
informative.
start calling names?
Okay, my
Okay.
1 week was very, very stressful. So I've been trying to read. So getting along with QA. That's why. My name is Damlela.
All right. Thank you for that, Damilala. Somebody else, we need a lady this time around, so can have it balanced.
Hi everyone, my name is Faith, and my week was not as hectic.
All right. Good to hear that. All right. That sounds interesting. So,
Good afternoon, everyone.
good afternoon.
My name is Adeshola. My week was quite productive and purposeful because I'm trying to learn more about PA, and I have the opportunity to work on some projects with Text IOU. Quite productive and purposeful. Thank you.
That is interesting. So she just give us a tip of some free testing sites. After this training, you can sign up on the site and start getting hands-on experience on testing. So it's glad to hear that from you, and I'm glad about how you sound interesting about this new career path. So last week, we've been able to cover a lot of things, and I can tell you it gets it's getting more interesting. So, and I'm excited. And I know you are also excited as well. So last week, which was the week one, we were able to cover functional testing or system testing, QC and testing, errors and failure. And last week too, we had one of our mentors, Mr. Ridwan, to take the class through the testing levels and software techniques. No, sorry, that should be for week 2. Uh, I mean, he took you through the principle of testing. So this week 2, we shall be covering software development lifecycle, software test lifecycle, testing levels, software testing techniques, and test management. So I would like to tell you that very soon I'll be pairing everyone into groups where you get to have an experience on how working in a real life environment should be. So depending on the numbers, before now we have about 70 people on the call. So I also want you to know that we'll work based on attendance. So we'll work based on attendance. So I'll pair you into groups. The tool that we'll be using is Jira. We'll be using Jira. So we'll be using the free version. So if you have people around, please encourage them to attend the class, because very soon we shall be working with the attendance of people that have been punctual in the training. So because we want to award certificate to people who cannot validate their knowledge of software testing. So at the end of today, we should be able to learn about software testing techniques. So for this week, we shall be considering software testing techniques, software testing development life cycle, and software test life cycle. So we're going to be starting with software testing techniques. So just be open-minded today, because today is going to be an interactive class. So after today, you should be able to get on the internet and solve real life questions that relate to software testing techniques. So let's get into it. So what is a software testing technique? So by definition, a software testing technique is a method or approach that is used to design test cases, and you use it to select test data so that testers can check if the application works as expected. So a number of us have seen people going to competition, test hackathons, and they win several prizes. So sometimes you begin to wonder, how were they able to pinpoint the right issue, and how were they able to win awards? So it's because they apply some basic techniques that is needed in testing. So in testing, you don't just go around and guess several test conditions in order to validate a software. There is an approach that each and every QA needs to approach testing the application, so that they don't have any missed defects, so that there is confidentiality in the product, so that you can maximize defect detection and ensure that you have 100% test coverage. So it will get to a point after you have finished testing and you can say, yeah, I'm done with my testing. Everything works as expected. We're ready to go live. And these are the testing techniques that you need to apply while testing that piece of software or application. So the first one I have here is black box test technique. The second one is white box technique. And the last one is experience-based technique. So today we shall focus on black box technique. So before we proceed, I would like to define the difference between black box technique and white box technique. So black box technique is an approach to designing your test cases. We still get to how to write test case. So just exercise some patience, we will still get there. So test case is just a list of tests on conditions, how you should carry out the test on an application. So black box technique is a technique where you don't have like internal working of the code. For instance, you don't have any idea on how the code base looks like. So you just go ahead and test the application. For instance, let me try to cite an example for you. So you are a customer of a bank and you have been issued an ATM. So you don't need to know the code that was used to implement this ATM machine. So all you just get there is to insert your card and you withdraw your cash. So you are acting as a tester or as a end user applying black box technique. You don't know how the internal working system. Another example is your mobile app, your banking mobile app. Once you download that app and you start transacting on the app, you don't necessarily have to know maybe it's a Java code that was used, maybe it's a C# or anything. All you're just interested in is testing the application and ensuring that you're able to perform the action which you have exerted on it. So that is black box. Why white box testing? It ensures that you have like the internal working system of the application. You understand the code. In other words, you are trying to check if the code is it's written in the right form, are the right techniques applied, right standard, right processes, are they applied to this application? Was this application written with the right code? The code that was used to implement this application, does it follow the keep it simple principle? Is this code maintainable? So those are the likes that you need to take note of. So why applying white box testing. So while experience-based testing, so is a technique where you test based on experience. An example is the exploratory type of testing. We've mentioned exploratory type of testing before now. So is you just like the name, from the name, it means you are just exploring the app. I initially mentioned that as a QA, there are times where you work with requirements and there are times you don't work with requirements. So as a QA, you should be able to work with the requirements and when there are no requirements. So while applying experience-based technique, you apply based on your experience. So that's what you apply while testing the application to ensure that this application meets specification. So I have something here. So white box testing, it's commonly performed by a developer that has the knowledge of the code. While black box testing, it is mostly performed by a tester without having the knowledge of the code or the structure of the code. So white box testing is performed by executing the program, while black box testing is mostly about checking the UI and entering some inputs at the UI level and confirming that the application works to expectation or conforms to expectation. So an example of white box testing is also known as structure box testing, glass box testing. So you can try to take a skin grab of this. You can look it up on the internet. So basically, open box, clear box, transparent, they all fall under white box testing. So they are also referred to as white box testing. So you can use the name interchangeably. So if you attend an interview tomorrow and you're being asked what structure box testing means or glass box testing, you should have the right answer for that. Then black box testing, another name that can be used interchangeably for black box testing is skin box testing, closed box testing, and opaque box testing. So let's move on. So like I initially explained, black box testing techniques, they are flexible and it enables evaluation of both functional requirements and non-functional aspects like performance, usability, and security. So black box technique can also be referred to as behavioral testing. So wherever you see behavioral testing, always know that it's also called black box testing. So let's go ahead and take a dive through black box technique. The first one I have here is equivalence partition. So I want you to be attentive because we'll be having some quizzes. It will be a general quiz and everyone can participate. So I want you to just be attentive as you can. So equivalence partitioning is a black box technique. What does it do? It segments input data into partitions, just as like the name, equivalence partition. It partition input data into segments where all values within a partition are expected to be treated the same way. So you group the test data into different partitions. So this approach of testing technique is employed so that you don't have too many test cases. So your approach here is just to minimize the effort of writing several test cases, and let me say you're saving time when you're doing that as well. You don't have to have redundant testing efforts. So here is an example. So what you do is you classify them into invalid partition and valid partition. So for instance, in this diagram that I have here, so we have three sets of partition here. A partition that is less or equal to 50, a partition that is 50 to 90, and a partition that is greater or equal to 90. So I'll cite some examples. Here is an example. So you are to register in a movie booking app. So, and here is the rule for you to make you eligible for registering on this booking app. You must be between 18 to 60. So you must be between 18 to 60 years old. So what you do by this is you try to break this into partition, because you don't want to miss some partitions that is essential to the business, that is most essential in the requirements that is provided. So you define some rules to make you have 100% coverage of the available requirements. So the first one is a valid partition. So the valid partition we have here, which everyone can see, is the age must be between 18 to 60. So the invalid partition that you need to validate as a QA is to check what happens if the individual's age is less than 18. So there are times that they might just, in your requirement documents, they just specify 18 to 60. So in any areas where you're confused, you're supposed to ask either the product manager, or the business analyst that what is the expected outcome if an individual below 18 tries to register. So from this rule that we are presented, you should know that if the individual is less than 18, then the individual will not be eligible to apply on the movie booking app. Then another part is, so we have three different partitions. The first one is 18 to 60. The second one is let's say less than 18, which is like, let's say 0 to 17. 0 to 17 is a partition. Then from age greater than 60, that's another invalid partition. So we have let's say 60 to 65 is another partition. So let us try to go through this. So I would just like to throw this. I want to confirm that you're following. So if the age is 80, can someone just unmute and tell us if this should fall between valid partition or invalid partition? So if the age of the individual trying to register on the movie booking app is 30, so can you confirm, will the person be accepted or rejected? So just
Rejected, invalid.
Accepted, ma'am.
Accepted.
Okay.
That's valid partition.
All right. Okay. What about 17? If the person is 17?
Invalid.
Invalid
partition.
Okay. That's great. You're really following. So what about 61?
Invalid.
Invalid.
All right. So that is great. All right. So let's go on. Okay. So I'd like you to take you through the approach that you can use when you have some set of rules and you want to apply equivalence partitioning. The first one is you divide the input range into distinct partition. Hello.
Nike, someone's hand is raised.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Can you go ahead? FI.
Okay, the valid statement here is supposed to be greater than or equal to 18, not less than or equal to 18. The first statement there. I don't know if I'm mistaken.
Okay. Which one?
In the previous screen that we just moved from.
Is it
Can
this
they call
one?
me for GNM?
Hello?
Yes.
This one? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I think the value statement should be greater than or equals to 18, less than or equals to 60. The first one is showing less than or equals to 18.
I can't really get which one you are referring to. Are you referring to this slide?
Okay. The
Yeah,
next
this one,
slide.
yeah.
Yes, this slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
The partitions,
Yes.
valid partition should be greater than or equals to 18, then less than or equals to 60. But I'm seeing less than or equals to 18 as the first statement, which is not true. I think so.
Hey. I'm actually trying to decipher what you mean by that.
Okay, I think the valid partition, like the
Yeah.
first partition, it is supposed to be greater than or equal to 18.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You mean this?
Yes, ma'am.
It is supposed to be greater or equal to 18, since the input rule is between 18 and 60, not anything less than 18.
All right, so that should be a typo. All right. So thank you for pointing that out. It seems you are really following. So let's go ahead. Okay, so I was talking about the approach that you need to adopt while applying equivalence partitioning. So the first one is you divide the input range into distinct partitions. So for instance, you have a range of 1 to 100. So you can divide this into 5 segments. So let's say 0 to 1, or minus 1 to 1, 1 to 20, 50 to 60. You can segment that. For instance, you can segment that into 5. You can also do 10 to maybe 120 then. Another one, you select one test value from each partition. Then you randomly pick values for testing. So considering the fact that you've already broken them into different segments. So whenever you pick random test values, you know which category and which action should be taken on this test input. So another one is each value represents entire partition. Assume single value suffices for testing. So when you are introducing your test data, so you already have some enlisted segment. So you assume that a single value will suffice for your testing. Then another part is examples of example partitions for age testing. For instance, we have ages range of okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, 81 to 100. So you've successfully been able to break this into 5 different partitions. Then another step is you simplify test case design process, and you reduce total test cases needed when you adopt equivalence partition. So the last one is an advantage of equivalent partition is you ensure coverage across all input domains. So you have a wider test coverage by making use of equivalent partition. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So something else, another example of black box testing technique that we have is boundary value technique. So I'll say both are similar. So while most times you apply equivalent partitioning and boundary value technique, you apply both at the same time so that you can have 100% or a wider test coverage. So it's sometimes it actually looks tricky, but I want you to pay attention so that you can spot the difference. So boundary value technique is also a black box testing technique where tests are designed at edges or boundaries of input ranges rather than testing value. So for boundary value techniques, what it does is, this approach is interested in testing the boundaries. So the major goal is for you to run your test on boundaries and see if there are no defects found around those boundaries. So what you do is you break, let's say for instance, you are given a boundary between 1 and 100. So as a QA, you try to apply boundary value technique to ensure that there are no defects just at the boundaries. So, sometimes when the developers, when they implement applications, maybe they have some typo or in their code, and sometimes they misinterpret those boundary value implementation, and as a result, it might introduce some bugs. Someone is raising his hand. I can only see Project Tiger. Is it the old hand?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so let's continue. So let's cite an example of boundary value testing or technique. So you are given a bound, let me say an example. You walk into a bank, so you are to withdraw, you can only withdraw your lowest minimum balance should be 100 naira, and the maximum should be 20,000 naira. So you are a QA, you might not necessarily be a QA. Let's say you are an end user. So because we say that as a QA, you are acting like a technical user of the app, and you're also acting as an end user. So you want to withdraw from an POS terminal or an ATM. So you've been given this as a QA to test. So you've been given this set of boundary. So what do you do as a QA? So you try to test the edge cases. Yes, the developer might have implemented the application, yes, to allow 100 naira and 20,000 naira. 100 as the minimum and 20,000 naira as the maximum. So as a QA, you try to check the boundary. So you need to check for 99. You can check 99. We won't say, I would have said 99.9, but I know our money system doesn't accept 99. On the ATM, you can't type 99.9. So if it were some other system, you can check that. So let's say 99. Can someone tell me what boundary does 99 fall? Is it a valid or invalid?
Invalid, rejected.
Okay.
Invalid.
Okay. So then you check for 99. Does the system accept withdrawal of 99 naira? If the system accepts that, that is a bug, and you need to raise that with the dev to fix it. So you test the expected range, 100. So 100 should be allowed. So you should accept withdrawal of 100 naira. So then you add 101, making 101. You check that boundary. You know we are checking 100 now. You minus 1 from 100, then you add 1 as an input. So you check 99, 100, and 101. Then you can also pick any number between 100 and 20,000. You could pick 15,000, you could pick 14,000. So it still falls within that valid boundary valid range rather. So then you check 20,000. We've already checked 100. Now we need to pick 20,000 and check for the boundary. So by doing that, you minus 1 from 20,000. Then you have 19,999. You check it. Does the system allows withdrawal of 19,999 thousand naira? No. Sorry, 19,999. Sorry, you should accept 19,999 is still within range. 20,000. Yes, it should accept it. So you now add 1 to 20,000 and check if it accepts it. So by our rule, 20,001, it shouldn't be accepted, it should be rejected. So if the system accepts that as a QA, you have to log that as a defect, which the developer has to fix. So I would like to throw an example. Let's say you are given a set of range to test, which is between let's just use let me use 0 and 10. So I just want just one person and maybe 2 people to just try. So the first person can just raise your hand. Let me see. So just raise your hand. So the question is you are given the range of 0 to 10. So how do you test the boundaries? How do you apply boundary value technique in 0 to 10? So someone you can just give a try. Olushola, you can go ahead.
Okay. I'll check for 0,
Okay.
which since it's from 0 to 10. So let's say if I'm withdrawing 0, then it should be accepted because it's from 0 to 10. So I'll check 0, then I'll add +1. So the +1 too should be accepted since it's greater than 0. Then I cannot do -0, so I'll just leave that aside. Then I'll do the in between number, say 4. Then I'll say 4 plus 1, which is 5. It should be accepted too. Then 4 minus 1, which is 3. It should be accepted too because it's greater than 0. Then I'll do the 10. 10, it should be accepted. 10 plus 1, it should be rejected because it's greater than 10. Then 10 minus 1, it should be 9. That's accepted because it's also greater than 0.
All right. Thank you for that. That was a nice try. So before the next person speak, can someone just spot out one scenario or one boundary that was missed out? Can you just unmute? One scenario was missed and one boundary was missed out.
The greater than 100. I think
No,
the
what we
range
have
was
0 to 10. 0 to 10
I
was
think you
what we
said
missed.
100.
Okay.
Number above 10.
Sorry, please, one person at a time. Just mention your name and
I am Olabisi.
okay.
So I want to mention the aspect that she let out. So as a QA, after testing for the valid numbers, to ensure that there are no defects, you're supposed to also test for number greater than 10, which is like 10.1 or 10.2, to know if there is a defect in that aspect. I will also test for number less than 0, maybe a decimal number of or negative of 0, like -1 or -2, if it function. But if it function for -1, -2, or for any number greater than 10, then that's a defect that needs to be reported. I need to be reported to the developer so that they could work on it and optimize it.
All right. You got it right. Please let's give her a round of applause.
Hello, Nike.
Yeah.
Nike.
Yes.
Adeshola mentioned 10 plus 1, 11.
Okay.
Yes, she mentioned it. And 11 is greater than 10, which the system is not expected to accept. She mentioned 11.
Okay, so let me just say what I was expecting was -1.
I
The
think she
negative
covered that
value.
soon.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. She just said maybe less than
Yes,
1. She
zero.
did not mention -1, like -1. 0 is valid. 0 to 10 is valid boundary. But I was expecting her to mention -1. She just said in passing, like numbers less than 0. No, you need to mention that the test value, which is -1. So that was what I was expecting. So I don't know if Nella, everyone has tried so far. So it seems you're really following and you're really getting it. So Nella, can you just give us a summary? 0 to 1, you have a boundary of 0 to 10. Is Nella still here with us?
Yes, I'm so yeah. It's actually a mistake. I was giving a round of applause and it's back.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry.
So let's just proceed. Is there anyone that wants to try? Someone needs to be admitted. Oh, okay. Yes, no. All right. So let's go ahead. So we have a quiz here. We have some number of quizzes for boundary and equivalence partitioning. So here is the first quiz. A system accepts values in the range of 1 to 50 inclusive. Which of the following is the correct set of boundary value test input? The first one is 0, 1, 2, 49, 50, and 51. B is 1, 25, 50. C is 0, 50, 100. And the last one is 2, 25, 49. Please, you can just indicate by raising your hand. And please, Biola, please, you can assist in calling.
Okay, they already dropped the answer on the chat.
Hey, don't drop the answer. Why are you dropping the answer? Okay. Someone should just represent the whole class and tell us the answer. I'm not seeing the answer right now because I'm not on that screen.
Just wait, Nike. Let's do it this way. The first person that dropped the answer should unmute and explain. I think that Adeshola Shukurat was the first person to drop the answer, so she can unmute and explain.
All right. I think for A, the boundary value test inputs will be between 1, 2, 49, and 50. Ranging from 1 to 50. I think those are the values that fall in between that boundary. For B, we'll have 1, 25, and 52 correct. And for C, 0 incorrect, and then 100, they are out of the boundary value tests. And for D, we'll have 2, 25, and 49 in between the boundary.
Okay. Thank you. I'll add something and you let me know between A and E, which one is the correct answer?
Between A and E, E.
Okay. It should
E.
be E. So why did you select E?
I'm seeing minus out of the boundary for E, and then we have 51 above 50 in the boundary value test input.
All right. That is super correct. So do you have any different counter opinion to this? You are free to unmute and talk. Between A and E, What do you feel should be the right boundary value test input? Someone is raising Faith. I thought Faith was raising her hand. Okay. Oh, Isa.
Hi, sorry.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Faith.
Oh, I was saying that my answer initially was A. However, now that you've added the option of E, like where it says -1 until 51, now I'm confused. Shouldn't the answer still remain as A and not E?
Okay, so let me say, as the examiner, I have increased the scope of my answer, so I decided to add E in order to confirm if my students are really getting all about this boundary test analysis. So that is why I introduced E. So if E was not there, yes, we are fine with that answer. But now I have introduced E. So let's forget about the previous question. So this is the new question.
New question. All right. Okay.
So what do you choose now that E has been introduced?
Yeah, E.
Okay, E.
Yes.
I hope there is no contrary opinion to this.
No, no, no.
All right. Okay, so if E is there, E is the correct answer. It's very important as a QA, you should always test negative boundary. So as a QA, yes, they've presented us the requirement. We have the user story. So what we are doing is we want to introduce negative dependencies into the system and still see if the system still bounce back to normal. So if I introduce this -1, I want to see how the system will behave. So your work is not just to test, yes, they've given me A, B, C. Yes, I'm testing if A, E, B, C are fine. You have to think out of the box to introduce something negative and see if the system will still withstand that negative dependency. So in short, so E is the answer. A round of applause for everyone. I have no sound here. I would have made a sound. All right, so let's go ahead to the next quiz. Boundary value analysis is A, white box, and B, a black box, C, experience, D, unit test approach. I don't know if that has been dropped in the chat.
Nobody yet.
Nobody yet. This is one of the easiest questions.
I think Adeshola and Chinonso, Abdul Samad, Emmanuel, Samuel.
What did they select?
So there is a B and a.
There's
We
a
can
B
go to
and
the group chat. Yeah, B, A option. So we can now ask them to the people that picked A. They tell us why it is A, and the people that picked B. So we select one person from them to
okay, well,
confirm.
we need a representative.
So just hold on. Let's start from the first person that dropped. Could this be my network? I can't see their names.
Okay.
Okay. I think Adeshola dropped first, but Adeshola has been speaking since. So let's so let's
Sorry, there's
Olabisi
put
is here.
Olushola and there's Adeshola.
okay.
Yeah.
So please, Nike, can you check at your end? Because
So what I'm seeing here, the first person that dropped was Olabisi Oyedunton. Then the
no,
second
no, no.
person is
No, this is the first question. This for the first. You can scroll.
Oh,
Still
okay.
scroll down. Yeah.
I'm actually confused because I'm just seeing B B. Just try and type what the answer is next time. If you put B B B B, it's not straightforward. Right now, I don't know
Okay.
the first
I
person
think
that
this.
dropped.
Yeah. So
All
Emmanuel
right.
P.
Okay.
Yeah, Emmanuel P. Abdusamad. Why did you choose B? And Samuel D. Why is the answer A?
Oh yeah, please respond.
Okay, hi. So this is Abdul Samad, and I chose B because boundary value is, I believe that from what we've been taught so far, it is part of the black box techniques because it's kind of like targets the boundaries of input value from, let's say, the minimum, maximum, and the edge cases, just like the first quiz that we had, where we had the case of -1 within a range of 1 to 50, and that. So that's why I chose B.
All right, please, what's your name? Abdul Salam, right?
Yes.
Okay, Abdul Salam. Okay, so the next person. The next person that chose something contrary
A.
to B. Hey,
Daniel.
okay.
Daniel P. Check. Let me check the chat.
Daniel P. Oh yeah, you chose B. You chose A with your full chest, so it's time for you to defend it. We are all waiting for you. Please just
Okay. Because
unmute.
only Samuel he selected A. Okay, if Samuel doesn't want to unmute, Nick, I think you can proceed.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I chose.
Okay, you are not speaking, no.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please
Sorry,
proceed.
I was muted.
Okay. So I said I chose the white box because we were given a boundary to test against. So the white box actually tells you have idea of what you are testing against. The black box is you don't actually know. You are just seeing it. You are testing, expecting to have a particular result. But the white box is open, so you know what the code is. You know what the code is supposed to accept.
No, you didn't get this at this time. So I said black box testing is a technique that is applied when you don't have understanding of the code. You don't know the code. You don't know the code that was used to write the application. So all you're just interested in how the application functions. Why white box is when you have the understanding of the code of the application. So I think you are getting it the other way around. So black box test, you don't know, you don't interfere with code. You don't understand what the code. I cited an example of when you go to your ATM. When you go to your ATM and withdraw, you are not concerned with anything, any technology that was used to write or implement this ATM. All you just go there is to just withdraw your money. So that is like black box testing. Why white box testing? As a QA, you go through the coding language. You have to know the structure. Is this code that was implemented, is it maintainable? Does it follow the right standard? So you have to have an understanding of the internal working system of the code that was used to implement this application. I hope you now have a full idea of what the difference between black box and white box testing. So then Boundary value analysis is an example of black box testing. It's an example of black box testing. It's not white box testing. So I don't know if you are clear. Do you have any other question? I hope anyone that is still misinterpreting this have a clearer view of it right now. So can you just make reactions? Let me know that you are fine with that definition. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next quiz. So the next quiz, is fastest fingers. So just drop your answer and be ready to unmute to defend your answer. So a program requires a 4-digit PIN, 1000 to 999. Which of the following represents the correct boundary values? A, 1000, 1001, 998, 999. Just drop your answers in the chat. You have a timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it is gone. So can you just unmute? Who is the first to drop? We have Faith. I won't want Adeshola and Salam to participate anymore. So can you just drop like, hey, it's actually difficult. This one is not a text. So Biola, I don't know if you were paying attention. Who was the first to drop?
The two people you mentioned, they were part of the people that dropped. But
No,
we
let's
can,
let's
yes, we'll exclude them. Then we'll pick another name.
okay.
I don't know why. There's Oibe. Oibe J.
Oyibe, please just go ahead.
I don't know.
So if we don't get the response from Oyibe, who is the next person? Because we still
I
have
saw
other
Jennifer too. Jennifer, can you explain?
Jennifer. So do we say we don't have any winner for this? There's no winner for this quiz 3.
Okay.
Project
Let's pick
Tiger.
Project Tiger.
Yeah, sorry for the name. I'm using a work laptop, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, now so I picked B because the question says we should it requires a 4-digit PIN, and which of the following represents the current boundary values. So now the first question, A has 1000, 101, 998, and 9999, and one of it is below the minimum. Yes. And then we have B, which is 999, 1000, 1001, 9. Okay, yeah. And then this second one is it is within the boundary of 1000 and 9999 that is required for the 4-digit PIN. And then C has I don't know how to it has left my screen.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, so 999 is within the required PIN. Like I'm talking about PIN now, 1000 to like all the numbers, all the 4 digits within in option B is within the required 4-digit PIN. But as for C, 1000 is 9 yeah, 2000. The 2000 there is above the maximum. And yeah, that's just the options in B are within the required 4-digit PIN.
Wow, that is great. You had a detailed explanation of all the options. Please, what's your name?
Alima Teniola.
Okay. All right. I think we have someone that has done justice to that. So let's move on to the next quiz. Quiz 4. I want you to pay attention to this question. These questions are ISTQB questions. So let's say you are writing a professional exam. ISTQB is a professional exam in software testing. So there's foundation level, there's advanced level, but before you write advanced, you have to first write foundation. So these questions that you are solving, they are real life questions that comes out from ISTQB. So just take all those things, these questions, take it to us, because while you are writing your exam, you just will be writing something similar to this. So I hope we should have some answers already. Here's the fourth.
Sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name, please?
Okay, please, for the last question, is the answer A or B?
I think the answer is The answer is B.
For I'm trying to understand. The first one was 999, and it said it requires a 4-digit pin. So why is the answer not A instead of B? Like the requirement
Okay.
is a 4-digit pin. Like it has to be a 4-digit pin. But the first number in B is 999. This is a 3-digit. So obviously, we need the requirements of what you need. Why is the answer B?
Okay, why the answer is B? From the name, we are testing boundary value test. So no, the option A doesn't capture the invalid boundary. It only captures I don't think it only captures 1,000 to 9, just positive boundaries. That's what A covers. So by that, we don't have a full test coverage. And the purpose of our test is for us to cover both positive and negative range for this test. So we could see that B has 999, which is negative. It has 1,000 to 999, which is positive. And it also has 1,000, which is negative. So that's why B was selected as the correct answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So additionally, as a QA, I will try to repeat this often and often. As a QA, you are not testing to focus on the positive. Like you want to break the system. And see, yeah, I'm coming to break the system. I'm introducing negative things so that I want to check if this system will still work as expected, or is this system going to crash if I introduce a negative scenario or negative boundary value. So your motive is for you to test cover both positive and negative. So if you are a QA and you only focus on only positive, so that doesn't make you like a very professional and suitable QA. You have to test negative scenarios as well, and edge cases or boundary value test. So let's go. We should have people that's responded in the chat session. So Biola, please, can you help us? So one person will just be selected. I hope all the answers are correct. So a system accepts input 1 to 9. Which of the following is best set of equivalence? Okay, this is equivalence partition. All right. All right.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm checking. Just hold on.
Okay.
Fine lover, you can go ahead. Fine, no.
Okay,
I
okay,
know.
yes. I
Yes.
choose B because it divides the range into two equal parts, which is easier to like select. 1 to
Okay.
50 is equal is the same. We take the same values as 51 to 99. So I think that is fair.
Mm. Okay, Nike. Let Oluwapelumi explain our own too.
Okay, Oluwapelumi. Oluwapelumi, go ahead. I don't think Oluwapelumi is with us. So who is the next person? Who is the next person? Quiz 4 is going right now. It's going.
Olushola Adetola. Olushola Ade.
I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Actually chose B because this is equivalence partition and it has to be anything less than 1 is invalid and is not accepted. So it's between the range of 1 to 99. So anything less greater than 99 too is invalid and it should not be accepted, just like the example she made. That for instance, now I can't really remember the example, but then anything below 1 should not be accepted. Okay, is the example where she talked about going for movies and watching movies, and anybody below the age of 18 should not be accepted. This is equivalence and not the other boundary we were talking about. So since anybody below the age of 1 should not be accepted and anybody above the age of 99 should not be accepted, so the answer is B, which is from value 1 to 50 and value 51 to 91. Like the first option now is below 1, then value 1 to 99, then there's now greater than 99, which greater than 99 is invalid. Then the B, like I said, is the correct option. The C, value 0 to 100 only. 100 is greater than 99, so that's why C is invalid. Then D, even numbers and odd numbers, those ones are not, is not well explanatory because we have both even number and odd number within the range of 1 to 99. So I don't know if that's expensive. So B is the correct answer because it's within the range from 1 to 99.
All right. So let me have your names. Like 3 people attempted this question quiz 4. What's
My
your
name
name?
is Olushola Adetola. Olushola Adetola. I've answered the question before. There's a difference between Adeshola and Shukura, then Olushola and Adetola. Olushola Adetola and Adetola. Adeshola Shukura. I don't know. The name is kind of mixing up.
All right. The first person that responded, it was a guy. Please, can you unmute and let us know your name? So.
Okay, Fanen Yove.
Can you spell it?
Fanen.
Okay, so I think we are running out of time. Let's just move to the next black box technique. So the next one is decision table. So decision table is a black box test technique. It is used when systems behavior depends on different combination of input condition. So this technique is used to test data sets in order to cover a wide range of input combination. Okay, so decision table, I'll say this decision table testing is something that we do every day. So you might be in a situation where you want to go out, for instance, you want to go to the market, it's weekend and you need to go to the market. So it's either you go on Saturday or you go on Sunday. So if you go on Saturday, there are also what will I call it? There are some conditions or some actions that if you don't go to the market on Saturday or Sunday, before you know it, it's already Monday and you're going to work from Monday to Friday. So in other words, you have to make some decisions at some strategic point, and you take consequences for any decision that you make. So simply means that is just what decision table testing means. So I have an example here. So you are trying to log in into your computer system at work. So every staff of the company has a valid username or an email and a password. For instance, let's say I work at Quality Techies. I have my username as adenike.olapetan@qualitytechies.com. Then I have a password that I have set already. So here are the decision table rule that need to be followed. So if I enter a user name that is valid and my password is valid, definitely I'm going to be able to log in successfully. So the result is successful login. So if I enter a username that is valid and my password is invalid, I will get an error message. Please provide a valid credential. It won't even say, please provide a valid username or a valid, okay, you should say, please provide a valid username or a valid password. In other words, there's another part that is called like security testing. So when you see such errors, you won't say, please, it won't reflect in a way that you should enter username, enter password, because if you are doing that, you are exposing your application to potential threats. Like you are pointing to the hacker that yes, it is username that is invalid. So the hacker finds a way to get what your username should be. It tries different kind of combinations in order to break through your system. So that's why the error message might be, please provide a valid username or a valid password. So let's say I entered an invalid username and a valid password, I will still get an error that please provide what is valid. Another condition or rule might be, if I didn't enter valid username and I didn't enter valid password. So in other words, I left both fields, I left it blank. So I will also get an error message prompting me to enter a valid username and a valid password. So that is an example of decision table testing. So I still have another example here. So we can see some set of condition or rules. So let's say some conditions have been stated for you if you are either married or you are a good student. Maybe you are undergoing what should we relate this to now? Maybe in your school you are undergoing a competition, and there are some rules that has been stated which needs to be followed, and there are actions and consequences for each of the rules. So the first one is you are married. Yes, you are married. Are you a good student? Yes. So let's say you're about to purchase an item. In this competition, you're expected to purchase an item. So everyone has different discounts that they will be given when they participate in this context. So the first one is, yes, you're married, you're a good student. So they will give you a whopping discount of 60%. So that is the action. The second rule is, yes, you are married. You are not a good student. So they will still, they can still manage to give you like 25%. So rule 3 is you are not married, but you are a good student. Yes, they are still willing to part away with 50% discount. Then the last one is you are neither married or neither a good student. So you go with the consequence of not getting any discount. So this is an example of decision test, decision table testing. So the next one, another black box testing we have is state transitioning. So state transition is a black box technique that is used to verify how a system behaves when transitioning from one state to another. This is what we experience every day. An example is a traffic light system. Whenever you are driving and you're in this, let's say in the street of Lagos, yes, it will get to a time when the traffic light is red, you have to wait. And whenever the traffic light is yellow, that means you should be preparing to move. And when it's green, yes, you can start moving. So that is an example of state transitioning system or state transition diagram. So another example that most of us are very familiar with is our phone. Everybody has a mobile phone. So when you open your system, when you're on your phone and you enter your PIN, you can log in. If you have, let's say we have 3 valid states. You can see on my screen we have 3 valid states. A valid transition state is your phone is locked. You enter the correct PIN. It moves to the state of entering a correct PIN. After entering your correct PIN, you are logged in. You are able to log in into your mobile device. So that means your phone transitioned into 3 different states. The state at which it was locked, then it went to the state where you enter a correct PIN, and lastly, your phone become unlocked. Then another state is when which I will classify as an invalid transition state. So you enter an invalid password. What happens? Let's say you attempt to enter. I think this is mostly experienced on iPhones. So if you enter maybe like 3 times or 4 times, you have entered invalid password, your system will be, your phone will be locked. So that is another state. That is invalid transition. So let's move to the next one. So the last one I have here is use case testing. So use case, this is use case testing. Use case testing is a type of black box test design where test cases are derived from use cases. So what use cases means is you have a system and you have an actor. So the system and the user, they relate together. They have relationship together. So a use case describes how a user, which is mostly referred to as an actor, interacts with a system to achieve a goal. So while doing this, your motive is to focus on to test end-to-end scenarios. So you go through the main flow. Then you can also go through an alternative flow, which could be a negative flow, which might involve you being able to view all the error handling technique. So an example is for a use case. Let's cite an example of you withdrawing some funds from your let's use POS this time around. No, I think let's use ATM. So every one of us is familiar with ATM. So you insert your card. You are the actor. You are interacting with the ATM machine. So what do you want to achieve? You want to withdraw cash. So that is a use case. So use case in most of functional requirements. Yes, the product manager, most times they include the use case there so as to make you know how you are supposed to interact with the system, and you get to see the expected outcome. So whenever you see anything in your functional requirement that's referred to as use case, you know that those are the things that you need to relate with to create your test coverage, to create your test cases, and to have a wider test coverage. So you are free to introduce any negative flow that is not included in the functional requirement and raise questions with either your project manager, your product manager, or your business analyst, depending on what structure or the context at which you operate in your organization. So let's go back to our example. So you are the actor, you are trying to withdraw cash. So these are the list of use cases that has been indicated in the functional requirement document or the user story. So the first step is you insert your PIN, you insert your ATM, then you enter your PIN, you select withdraw, then you enter amount, you collect, then you collect cash. So this is a valid use case. So what do you do as a QA? You pick up these use cases and you apply all the initial test technique that we've been mentioning from the beginning. So you can apply a state transition, you can apply your boundary value, you can apply your decision table testing while you are creating your test cases. So then another flow which is invalid is when you enter an invalid PIN. So what are you expecting? Are you expecting the system to show that an error occurred? And what if you try an invalid PIN 3 times? What is expected? Should you be allowed to still log in into the ATM and to be able to withdraw cash? All of us know that if this is accepted, there is an issue somewhere and that can lead to fraud. So as a QA, you are expected to flag all this. So are there insufficient funds? So let's say the minimum balance for most banks, let's say, is 500 naira. So that is what is agreed by the banking organization. That's what is agreed by the business team. So assuming you try to withdraw below 500, let's say you are now applying boundary value analysis. If you try 44,999 and it accepts it, that is an error. That is a flag. That is a defect which you need to flag. So when you try 500, does it allow 500? When you try 501, does it still allow 501? So I think we are good by that if it accepts 501. Then another flow is you retrying. I think I initially mentioned if you try 3 times, what happens today if you try 3 times? If you try to enter invalid PIN 3 times, can someone just help me with this? What happens in a banking organization? You went to the ATM gallery. This bank is not your bank. Let's say you are a First Bank. You went to GTB to withdraw money from GTB ATM gallery and you tried 3 times. So what's the expected result? Can someone just unmute? Okay, T.O. was the
It's
first
going
person.
to okay.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead,
it's
T.O.
going to tap your card and stop any form of transaction.
All right, that is great. I.O. Do you still want to try? Ifeoluwa.
Yeah, so I think they should block the ATM card and they should report to the bank system.
All right. Okay, so these are what we experienced today while interacting with the ATM machine. So here is another use case. So as a user, as a customer of GTB Bank, so the actions I have here is withdraw. You can withdraw funds. You can check your balance. Then you can transfer. So as a QA, you are expected to test all these scenarios. You should use this use case for withdrawal at ATM point and see if you can withdraw funds. You can't withdraw above your balance. Then you should be able to check your balance inquiry. So you should be able to check your balance inquiry. So what's this now? If I want to, can someone else try? You are checking your balance inquiry. So you have a use case for cash withdrawal. So you want to check your balance before withdrawing. So can someone tell me two scenarios that you can cite, like two negative scenarios for balance inquiry? Can someone try? You're trying to check your balance on the ATM machine or your mobile device or at a POS point. You want the operator or the vendor to check your balance for you. So what are the two things?
Hi,
All right.
can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, one of the very frequent error that you can get is maybe when you enter a wrong pin, or maybe when you delay within the time frame of entering the pin. So it can reverse your command and it won't allow you to proceed. So that's one of the errors that you can experience.
All right. Thank you. Glory. Glory,
Yes,
go ahead.
he has already given the answer of what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, all right. I would like to add this. So, for balance inquiry, two things that you can test as a negative scenario is when you check your balance. Is it the exact balance of the notification that you got on your mobile device? Let's say you have 500. You have 500 as your balance. So when you check at that POS point, are you not seeing 500,000? Although I'll say most people will be happy when they see 500,000. Most people are not likely to report this if they are seeing 500,000 instead of 500 naira. So that is a bug. So if you don't see 500, I know, but if you like most times when customers have an amount that is less than their expected balance, let's say you're supposed to see 50,000 and while checking you are seeing 500 naira. That's when most times their customers we have to make noise and flag that, make noise about it that yes, their banks has defrauded them. So both scenarios, they are negative scenarios that needs to be captured. Some people are raising their hand. Chinoso, you can
Okay,
go ahead.
good. Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. For me, I think I would add one more test scenario that covers both withdrawal, balance inquiry, and transfer. I think just the negative for the account type. If you're supposed to go for savings and you try using the current account, you see if that will pass or fail. I think I'll add that step to my test cases.
Okay. All right, that is good. That is noted. Thank you. Is it Chinozo that just spoke?
Yes, please. Yes, Chinoso.
Okay. Okay, you can lower your hand. Adeshola.
Yes, I want
Adeshola.
to add a scenario whereby you have a dormant account. So over time, you can be flagged that your account is inactive because for over the period of time, you have not been using account. So I can add that to my test case as well.
All right, that is fantastic. Thank you. I think let me also add other scenarios that you can check for this. For withdrawal, balance, and transfer. You check if you can transfer a zero amount. You check if you can transfer a negative.
Okay, I can go with the present. So that is not only
Sorry, someone's mic is unmuted. Can you mute, please? Okay, so then you can check if you can't transfer an amount above your balance. Then we could also check. There are some banks that they implement. You can't make transaction within 2 transactions within 60 seconds. So that will run into a duplicate transaction. Then there's a transaction ID that is generated. It should be unique. No 2 transactions should have the same transaction ID. We still get to learn more about this when we get to creating test cases. So I have some quiz here. I have 2 quizzes. So this is the first one. This is the first one. Which one is an invalid transaction? Can you just drop your answers? Which of this is an invalid transaction? Sorry, invalid transition. This is about state transition. This question is for state transition and testing. So has anybody dropped their answer?
Okay, they've been dropping, and everybody has been dropping the same.
The same thing. So who is the first person? Let's get the first person.
I think Temitokpe something. That's the first person. Temitokpe.
Temitokpe.
Yes, any Temitokpe on this code. Let me check. Temitokpe.
Okay, change there.
Temitokpe Oluwa Okebowale. She was the first person. He or she was the first person that dropped.
Yeah, I'm there. Okay, Temitokpe, please go ahead.
Please explain.
Regarding this question, that is not possible for a user to actually enter their PIN and without the system actually validating it, it's not possible for the card to dispense. So this is
Okay. All right. I think that's an invalid transition state. So
Nike.
Yes.
So what Temitokpe dropped on the chat was to she mentioned she listed a test case scenario that you should not be able to transfer above the CBN limit, which actually deviates from this question.
no,
So
that was she was talking about the withdraw inquiry then. So that was when I dropped that test case scenario.
Okay. So the first person that answered this was Olushola Adetola. Yes. Oh, hey. Is it
Okay.
Olushola or Omotoyosi? Omotoyosi Akombi.
Is Amotoyosi Akombi?
Yes. Omotoyosi, not Olushola.
Okay, Omotoyosi, go ahead and
So
give
the
us
answer is D. For it to be valid, so the question is invalid transition. So we need to enter our PIN and it has to pass validation before a cash can be dispersed to any customer. So that's why it's an invalid, because what we have there is an invalid without validation. So it's not possible, it's invalid transition.
All right. Thank you. So here comes to the last quiz for today. All right. Here is the quiz.
No, mommy. I don't balance. I don't come out.
Please, Omotoyosi, can you mute?
And I want to give you.
It's not me. Oh.
Okay, it's not you. Oh, sorry about that.
Yes.
The person has been muted. Let me check again.
Okay. So this is the last question for today. You have 6 minutes to go. So who has dropped their answers?
Glory. Glory essay. Glory first.
Okay, Glory. Glory, can you
Okay.
unmute?
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, it's talking
Afternoon.
about a shopping system that's giving 10% discount to their customers, that is to their membership customers. So it's asking which of the condition, and the customer must purchase something above $100. So it's asking which of the condition will appear in decision table. So the first answer, that is A, is membership status and purchase amount. That is, they will check if the person, the customer, is a member and the amount of item that he or she bought. That is the answer to the question. Thank you.
All right, spot on. Thank you. So before the end of the day, we have the names of the winners of the quiz. So thank you. We have come to the end of today's class. I don't know if you have any questions regarding what we've covered today. All right, thank you. Thank you. Please, before everyone leaves the call, Biola, please, can you stop the recording?
Okay, Nike. So, Nike, I have something to say before you close.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so for everyone, Nike, Adenike, thank you for the class. Thank you for imparting knowledge to people. Thank you for giving back to the community with your knowledge, because strictly what is being done everywhere, it's these sections are normally monetized, but in our own way, she decided to give back with this. So thank you very much. God bless you and increase your knowledge. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.